back to Kamikaze Collecting. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of a full Marvel Legends wave for the Build-A-Figure Sugar Man. Happened to go to a Walmart about 45 minutes from our house, so I had to go take care of a few things, and thought I'd stop in at the Walmart and got lucky and found the entire set of figures for this. There's 7 figures. I'm going to try to get them all in the view. So these are a little bit. Let's see here. Hopefully you can see all those. You have Jean Grey, you have X-Man, Sunfire, Wild Child, Weapon X, Morph, and Dark Beast. So let's start with Jean. She's the first figure out of the set, and we'll work our way through. Open all these, check out the figures, put the Build-A-Figure together. So let's see here. It's actually the first time I've pretty much found an entire wave at one time. So we're gonna take the opportunity to go ahead and get it, because a lot of times our areas don't restock figures, or we miss a lot of waves or things like that. So, and I'm curious to see how big this figure is going to be, because that's what it's going to look like when he's put completely together. As you can tell, that piece fell out of there. Try this again. Try to hold that in there. See how big these parts are compared to her. Big old face. And you can see, kind of compared to my hand, how big these things are. Pretty much fits right in my palm. It's kind of the kind of a center and bottom piece. I remember when this wave was first announced, that I kind of jokingly said that the Jean Grey figure reminds me of I believe it's a Star Trek character, because of the hair and her like blue, I'm assuming it's makeup. I haven't really followed the Age of Apocalypse storyline or anything like that. Pretty interesting figure. Has a decent bit of head motion for up and down. Of course, it spins all around, being a ball peg. Has some decent shoulder movement. Just have like a shoulder pad kind of like jacket going on. She has a single elbow pivot. Doesn't have a pin like the wrestling figures have. So basically at her elbow she can spin her arm all the way around. Not that it needs to. Let's see. Alright, she does have pretty easy moving wrist movements. Of course, you can twist the hands. So you can take her hands and turn them this way, and you can do like a wrist bend. She has quite a bit of movement for, like, I guess you consider it an ab crunch, even though it's not cut out like the wrestlers. It still has a nice up and down motion. decent. Kind of the, I guess, upper thigh, kind of crotch area pivot. It does have the upper thigh pivot. It's a double knee joint. And your basic up and down kind of ankle pivot. Pretty nice figure, some nice coloring to it. Set her off to the side here. And next we will open X-Man. And he actually has the upper two arms for this figure. And there's the arms for that. Pretty good size arms. I feel like it's going to be a pretty big figure once it's put together. It's going to look pretty cool. Alright. This is the X-Man figure. Very good chance this is the same figure as the, I believe it's, I want to say Havoc and Polaris 2-pack that came out, just repainted, if I remember the two figures correct. Which Hasbro does tend to use a lot of figures more than once. They'll just repaint them, make them a different character. Saves them money and time. Some people don't mind it, some people don't like it. It happens. I mean, they're just trying to save money and reuse parts and everything else. Got the double elbow joint there. Nice shoulder range on it. He actually has the ab crunch cut out. It's kind of hard to see with the jacket. I don't know if I can get my fingers out of the way enough. There you go. You can actually see the ab crunch cut out like the wrestlers have on the Elite figures. Alright, and it has the upper thigh swivel with a double knee joint. Has a calf swivel. Has your basic ankle motion. Gene actually does not have the calf swivel. Pretty cool figure. You could actually take the main part of the jacket off. I mean, it would probably kind of look kind of silly to have jacket sleeves but not the jacket itself on. So, not that I'd ever take it off unless I'm using it for a custom. I wouldn't paint this one exactly, but if I found an extra one, you know, just to make a random custom of or something like that, I would take the jacket off just to paint it and put it back on kind of thing. Not take it off and keep it off kind of thing. Unless you can find another jacket to replace that still will look good on it. Alright, and the third one we have Sunfire. He has the bottom two arms. Actually have the another version of Sunfire. I can't remember exactly which case he's in behind me. I know he's with the X-Men stuff. He has more of the red and white, kind of like a rousing sun kind of theme on his outfit. Alright, and there's both lower arms for the Build-A-Figure. Something I like about this one is the fact that a lot of this body is a translucent, wow, it made sense, translucent. It's fairly clear, but it's not like super clear. It's kind of like the Iceman figure, you kind of see through it. You know, get some lighting on it just right, kind of make the effects pop a little bit more. Doesn't have a lot of up and down head movement. It's something they did because of the flame effects going around the head, or why they chose to do that. As the pretty good range for the shoulders. They reach up pretty high. And he has the double elbow. A little bit hard to see because of the coloring of it. He only has, let's see, he mainly has a peg to where he can do this. I don't know if the pegs are just really tight, but it doesn't want to do this motion, like a inwards motion. Okay, so that one actually does it. Kind of hard to see with the lighting. There you go. You can actually tell that his hand's more downwards. I'll have to heat the right one up. It's a little bit stuck, not too bad. It does have the ab crunch, just like the X-Man figure. Not a big range on the kind of the crotch area pivot. It does have the upper thigh swivel. It's a little bit stiff. Don't want to force that one. The left one's good. The right one's a little bit stuck, so I don't want to force that. This figure actually has a piece of plastic actually missing out of the top of it. Not a big deal. It's not like it's broke or anything. It does have a double knee joint. Has a calf swivel. Pretty tight fit right now. Has the little bit of up and down ankle movement. Figure's definitely a tight figure. It needs a little bit of warming up in some spots. Pop some of it loose. Don't want to break any of the pegs or anything. All in all, definitely a cool figure. I like the coloring of it. Hopefully none of these will fall over, but we'll see. Alright, next up is Marvel's Wild Child. He is tied into Sabretooth, but I can't remember exactly how. I can't remember if it's like his son or some kind of a relation, or how that works. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked into that. And this figure comes with the back part for the Build-A-Figure. Just a basic back plate. With this really big chain accessory for the Wild Child figure. It actually has some okay up and down head movement. Not amazing, but not too bad. Has the butterfly joints for the shoulders, which you see some Spider-Man figures will have that, to where it'll have, like right in this area, it has movement, and then it actually has the shoulder balls have more give to it because of the type of pegs and things they put into it. Gives a little bit more articulation. As the double elbow. Has both movements for the wrists. Has the ab crunch. And this one actually has the waist swivel. I haven't paid attention to the other ones have that. Yep, Sunfire actually has it as well. And so does X-Man. But not Jean. So far the three male figures have the waist swivel. And about as far as you can get with the crotch kind of area. It does have the thigh swivel. There's a double knee joint. No calf swivel on this one. This has the basic up and down for the foot. This one's a little bit tight. This figure's kind of stuck in some areas. Not too bad. Let's see. This actually hooks to it somehow. Yes, okay, so the chain actually kind of hooks into the back of his collar. Not too bad to hook into it. So right now I'm just going to have him hold on to that. Get him to actually stand up without falling over. Kind of hard figures to pose. I've had some of the women figures that, because they have high heels and stuff like that, it's kind of complicated to pose them. Or they get warped legs and it makes it complicated to stand them as well. I just kind of want to stand up. Next up is Weapon X. And he comes with the left leg, which is quite short. Good old warped plastic claws, which is nothing new with the Wolverine figures. Got a lot of range even for having the big hair and the big head. So they did cut out a lot of area back in there. He also has the butterfly joint. Nice shoulder movement. Has the double elbow. He has the ab crunch movement. Can I hear it clicking? He does have the waist swivel. There's the crotch movement. Has the thigh swivel. Double knee joint. Basic up and down for the ankle pivot. And you can actually change his no hand side. We're having the claws to not having the claws out. It's actually when he had his hand cut off, and because his bones are covered in can't even say it now, animanium, the bones don't grow or heal back. So if you burn the skin and everything, that grows back, but his bones itself, because if I understand correctly, because it's covered in the metal, that does not allow the bones to grow back. So if I understand correctly, if he didn't have the coating on his bones and it was to be cut off, I assume the hand would still grow back because it's not coated. I guess the metal would actually keep it from doing that for some reason. So set him over here. Alright, and next to last we have Morph. He comes with the other leg. Basic leg. Alright, take a look at him without the cape on first. There's a lot of up and down range with the neck. He too has the butterfly joints for the shoulders. You can definitely see a lot of range in that. Has the double elbow joint. Does have a bicep swivel. It's pretty interesting. It has the double elbow joint with the big gauntlet gloves on. It does have both range of motion for the wrists. Has the ab crunch. He also has the waist swivel. Has the thigh swivel, double knee joint. Here, basic up and down for the ankle. You can technically turn the foot. It does have the calf swivel. And to put the cape on, you can just slide over his head. There's actually a little peg in there. Kind of see. Yeah, it's right here. Gotta make sure that goes into the back. Just take the cape, pop it over his head. And slide the peg in. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. Definitely an interesting figure. Looks like a kind of a cartoony kind of character, real goofy character kind of thing. Might be a little bit tricky to stand up. My bad thing about these big capes are really hard to pose. Take up a lot more room. Be nice if Hasbro actually did more of a cloth cape or something that wasn't as thick. But sometimes you can find people that can make capes fairly priced, usually. Alright, let's move on to the last figure. And that will be Dark Beast. Don't know a lot about this character as well. Actually comes with an extra set of hands. It comes with what looks like kind of like a Mjolnir, but it actually says sugar on it. Alright, you get a left open hand for Beast, the Dark Beast. Get a right hand closed fist. These are the extra hands that were in the package. And the figure himself. Definitely a nice size figure. Of course, Beast is a fairly big figure as far as like comics and everything else goes. Has a decent bit of head movement for as big as the head is. Has a little bit of range, there we go, for the butterfly joints. That's the double elbow joint. Get your both range of motion for the wrist pivot. It actually has kind of a double upper motion. He has the ab crunch, and like the Gene figure, it actually has this upper part basically under the chest area that actually will pivot as well a little bit. He does not have the wrist, the waist pivot. Does have, you know, basically the crotch area to do splits. Does have an upper thigh area, it's just really stiff. Has a double knee joint. Get that hand out of the way. There we go. And does have a calf swivel, and it has an ankle and toe pivot. Haven't really seen a toe pivot like that in a while, since like the Toy Biz stuff. Let's see here, right hand. I'll do that backwards. Some people want to actually balance these Beast figures. Still need the Beast figure, the actual regular blue one. Some people actually be able to balance them. Sure if I get lucky enough. Not quite. Yeah, it takes some time. Don't want to rack up the time on this, just trying to get them to balance. But that's all of our regular figures out of the set. Some pretty cool figures. So I'm going to set these out of the way and get this Build-A-Figure put together. Check him out. Definitely a cool wave for sure. piece snapped on. Make sure you line these pegs up. There's only one way to put that on. Easily snaps together. Those are the two jean gray pieces. You take the, I believe it's the Wild Child piece. Line those up on the back. I'm actually going to take this shorter harness off out of the way. That way we don't get it caught in there. Alright, got that part on. Build-A-Figures are usually really easy to put together. Rarely have I ever seen one that's really hard to do. Alright, make sure before you get the legs or the arms at all put on, put that harness back on, because it's a little tricky. Not tricky, but it's a little finagling trying to get that back on there, so make sure it don't get stuck. Let's do the left leg. And make sure, sometimes they'll actually make the peg holes different sizes. These are actually the same size. Sometimes you get lucky and be able to pull them back off if you do them wrong. Sometimes they're on there really good. So make sure you do your left and right correct. I got right leg on. It's really tiny. I got the other leg put on. Alright, so let's start getting these arms put in. Alright, so these are the upper. So yeah, your pointing hand is your top left. So if you're looking at the figure, it'll go up here. As if you're looking at it, if you're actually facing the figure, his pointing hand will be top left. Kind of goes in the top back up here. Like I say, make sure you're actually facing the figure, like if you're looking at it yourself. So you make sure you put these in the right place. Alright, and then the other one, it's like an open hand, goes on the top right. Be your right if you're actually holding it away from you. Be your top left if you're looking at it. And then the closed fist hand will go directly under the pointing hand. And then, of course, your last one left. Go right there. And that is actually the hand. To hold the hammer. So it's definitely an interesting figure. Hopefully I'll be able to get him to stand upright. He's wanting to lean forward, so he's wanting to fall forward. Yeah, it's definitely a big figure. It's pretty cool. It's something different. I like that Hasbro actually did something this different. Haven't really seen him do a really big Build-A-Figure in a while. I mean, other than Thanos is kind of big, but not too big, or not really big. Giant Man's tall, but he's, you know, skinny. Yes, definitely something different. Pretty cool. I dig it. Say I haven't really followed a lot of the Age of Apocalypse storyline. I just knew it was a pretty cool series to pick up. Definitely wanted the Dark Beast and the Weapon X for sure, and the Marvel Wow Child go along with Sabretooth. But pretty cool Build-A-Figure, so let's everybody back out if we can get them all stand up. So you can see the entire selection here. Back these up a little bit here. Yeah, just have to move around some figures to get the stuff to fit, because I've got 2 section and DTOF cases that are just X-Men. I have 2 of the Marvel Universe Sentinels. I have one of the Toy Biz Build-A-Figure Sentinels, a Universe, I'm sorry, not a Universe, but I have a Build-A-Figure from the Toy Biz series, Apocalypse, and a bunch of the Hasbro Legends in there. So there's a lot of figures in 2 sections. I need to get a lot of the figures that can fly off of the shelves, that way it gives it more room to fit other figures. Alright, hopefully Wild Child will stand up. Just not worry about his chain since it wants to fall off. Give him just a power stance just to get him standing up. Probably going to try to fall over, but typical figure fashion. So, alright, there you go. You've got Wild Child, Sunfire, X-Man, Morph, Jean, Weapon X, Dark Beast, and the big man, which is Sugar Man. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, especially being the first Build-A-Figure video. Hopefully be able to get some more videos like this out, so we'll see. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, ring the bell, so that way you get notifications for upcoming videos. I'm going to try to get through a lot of this stuff behind me, get some videos of all of the Wolverines now that I have this new one, plus some other ones that I've had for a while. Don't have the Ride Series Wolverine. I like to get a hold of that one. I know there's a lot of figures that I'm missing, so take some time. But thanks guys for watching the video again. Hit the bell, subscribe. Have a good one.